The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency. FTX lawyers say Sam Bankman-Fried's mother and brother are not cooperating with their financial probe. CoinDesk regulatory reporter Jack Schickler has the story. Jack, good morning to you. So how do Barbara Fried and Gabriel Bankman-Fried fit into the unfolding FTX drama? Maybe you can walk us through that first of all.
Yeah, so we know that the new management of FTX are currently chasing down the funds that they believe properly belong to the estate. That is under the guidance of John Ray, the new CEO who took over from Sam Bankman-Fried. And now they've asked the court to subpoena a whole bunch of people who are involved. And they've said that they want to do that because these people are not cooperating. Some of them just hadn't replied to the requests at all. Others have said they'll cooperate with voluntary requests, but have not done so yet. Some have said they decline to request. So obviously they need something with a bit more legal weight in order to get information out of them. It's no surprise they're asking for access to Sam Bankman-Fried himself and to other senior executives of the company like Caroline Ellison of Alameda Research. But they are also asking for information from Sam Bankman-Fried's family. And in answer to your question, that's because they think they are linked to charities and political action committees and may have received funding from either the company or its senior executives before it crashed. And they, as I say, they're trying to trace down those funds, and they need more information about what contact these people had with FTX's senior management and what money they or institutions they were involved with got from them.
Maybe you can expand upon to what extent Barbara Fried and Gabriel Bankman-Fried were tied to FTX. How are they spending money? And I understand also the father, nevertheless, may be talking.
Yeah, they've indicated they haven't quite got all the information they need out of Sam's father, Joseph Bankman, but they say he's cooperating. There's a whole range of levels of cooperation. His mother, Barbara Fried, has ignored the requests altogether, they allege. And there are other people, including his brother, Gabriel Bankman-Fried, who have not meaningfully engaged or responded. So there's different levels of cooperation from these people. Among their allegations are that Gabriel Bankman-Fried's had a lobbying organization guarding against pandemics, which purchased a multi-million-dollar property a few blocks from the United States Capitol, which is exactly where you want to be if you're trying to do lobbying, but that comes with a price tag. And the management of FTX believe that building was purchased using misappropriated customer funds. So if that is correct, there is a potentially quite a significant amount of money for the FTX estate locked up in those funds.
Yeah, I was wondering how much legal liability might Professors Bankman and Fried face, and their securities lawyers, as we were told by Kevin O'Leary, as a reason why he was investing in FTX. He said if anybody knows compliance, it would be Sam Bankman-Fried, because genetically, I guess he was prone to it, and his parents obviously know what's going on here. But how liable could they potentially be?
Securities law is hereditary, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I don't think there's a gene for that, unfortunately. But what we know is that Sam Bankman-Fried has been charged with fraud by the Department of Justice and by other securities regulators. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. We are now talking about a different case, which is not a criminal case, but a civil case, a bankruptcy case, where all they're trying to do is get access to the funds so that they can be properly restored to the creditors. And there are as many as 9 million creditors who could also be the customers of FTX. So we're talking about a slightly different thing. But there is a power for them to claw back any money that they believe was the result of fraudulent conveyancing. So money that was received from or via in some way FTX that was the result of fraud could be clawed back.
So we've heard from Caroline Ellison, the head of Alameda Research, and Sam's former girlfriend, right-hand woman, Gary Wang, also co-founder of FTX. But Nishad Singh, who was also part of the inner circle and involved in, I believe, that the tech and the coding of FTX, what have we heard from him, and what is his cooperation with the authorities?
So we know some of these people are indeed cooperating in the criminal trial that's taking place, and have entered a plea deal and a guilty plea. But as I say, that's separate, and they don't, as far as we can tell, lots of these people are not cooperating with the new management of FTX, have not responded or not meaningfully responded to these voluntary requests for information, including Nishad Singh. And that is why they want to move to the next step of compelling them to provide information by court order.
Yeah. Nishad is the former engineering chief over at FTX. What's the chances, or what's the hope in getting these funds back? How much could possibly be recovered?
Well, as I say, if these allegations are true, there's potentially, millions locked up here. We know that Sam Bankman-Fried liked to give to a lot of philanthropic, charitable causes, and also funded a lot of political campaigns. 1 in 3 lawmakers, as we've reported on CoinDesk, received money from Sam Bankman-Fried. So, there's a lot of different places where this money could be hiding. And there is, in theory, a legal route to getting it back if it was fraudulently conveyanced. But bankruptcy cases take years. If you're one of those 9 million customers waiting for your money, don't hold your breath. This does take a very long time to happen.
You say that they've given a lot to political charities, political campaigns, etc. And a lot of the politicians who have received those donations have gone on and just kind of rid themselves of those connections, trying to donate them in turn to their preferred charities. Could those funds be clawed back in this case?
Well, we don't know exactly what the intention of the FTX estate is, but we do know they're trying to get as much money back as they can on behalf of the creditors. A number of lawmakers have given the money back, or attempted to give the money back, or have said they tried to give the money back but weren't sure how, so they gave it to a charity instead. From the FTX's perspective, they just want the money. So, there is this legal power. It's a bit early in the process to tell how exactly they want to use it. But, that could end up being a potential outcome.